Tucker claims FBI hid details on Trump shooter Thomas Crooks. He said FBI clearly knew, Rob. I think you got a clip on this one here. Is this the one? Go for it, Rob.
These remarks were especially notable because they came at the final phase of Crooks's YouTube commenting. At that point, a new character emerged into the conversation, a user named Willie Tepes, who started pressuring Crooks to commit violence. For example, quote, "If a gun and a badge is all that is needed, then authority obviously comes from the barrel of a gun. We have more guns than they do. There is no way we can avoid a war at this point, so you better just get used to the idea. We have nothing to lose and everything to win. And the alternative, a global police state, is unacceptable. Nothing in life is simple, but that is no argument against doing it." So who is this Willie Tepes? Unfortunately, we don't know. The FBI hasn't made any mention of him in public, although they certainly know he exists. Just days after the shooting, somebody screenshotted Tepes' YouTube account page, despite the fact he had very few followers. To the extent that he can be traced online now, you can find his username being used on a foreign Antifa website. Those sites link him to the Nordic Resistance Movement, which has been designated a terrorist group by the U.S. State Department. That's all we know. We do know, however, that Crooks' online footprint abruptly ends after his encounter with this mysterious figure, Willie Tepes. Regardless of whoever Willie Tepes is or was and what his motives may have been, who he may have been working for, there is no doubt that Crooks was ripe for recruitment by someone. From early 2019 to mid-2020, as his political views were evolving, Crooks searched for Trump more than 700 times online. He also searched for Jack Ruby, the man who assassinated Lee Harvey Oswald. He then submitted queries for craziest chemical reactions, cars running over protesters, best places for mass shooting El Paso, Trump Civil War, Orlando shooting reaction, firing an AR-15 as fast as possible, fertilizer bomb, how to make napalm, how to make a Molotov cocktail, mass shooting Canada, Oklahoma bombing, and sniper in Dallas shooting. He also searched for American Nazi Party, German National Anthem 1933-1945, Hitler's speeches with subtitles, neo-Nazis, and, quote, why gays need to go. So here you have a volatile, troubled, possibly mentally ill young man with a long record of espousing violence in public.
Okay, so that's Tucker. Kash Patel responds. And he says, shared details Friday about the Bureau's investigation of Thomas Crooks after Tucker Carlson's alleged Trump's would-be assassin left digital warning signs that he was planning on an attack. The former Fox News host accused an FBI of lying of Thomas Crooks. The investigation conducted by over 480 FBI employees reveals Crook had limited online and in-person interactions, planned and conducted the attack alone, and did not leak or share his intent to engage in the attack alone, Patel wrote on X, providing an overview of the case. As part of the investigation, the FBI director said the Bureau conducted over 1,000 interviews, addressed over 2,000 public tips, analyzed data extracted from 13 seized digital devices, reviewed nearly 500,000 digital files, collected, processed, and synchronized hundreds of hours of video footages, and analyzed dirty activity from 10 different accounts and examined data associated with 25 social media or online forum accounts. Tom, Vinny, your thoughts on this story?
I mean, it's just weird that we didn't hear nothing from the FBI, and then all of a sudden Tucker Carlson, of all people, finds out that this guy did have a social media presence. I said one thing once online, Pat, and I got flagged. They sent me something. They banned me. They did all. So this guy's out there talking about and searching for murder, assassination, chemical stuff, and he just kind of went through the cracks. And it just kind of weird. He got radicalized. Okay, this Thomas Crooks. His social media presence, nobody could find except Tucker Carlson. After the assassination, they not only sprayed the roof where he was with all the DNA and all this stuff, they wiped his apartment. Somebody wiped his apartment completely clean. No silverware. They took everything out of his apartment. And it's weird, like the pattern that we're finding, Tommy, from all these people. They find weak-minded individuals. They radicalize them. They have them do this thing, and then they're the lone wolf, the lone shooter, and then they're now this new trend of they're furries. Notice how the trend of furry, trans, Thomas Crooks, Tyler Robinson, it's all a part of a plan, Pat. And I looked up MK Ultra. People tend to forget the CIA, our government, without experimenting on people without consent, use drugs, use psychiatrists to make people go do things that they didn't want to do. And then when they came out of it, they had no idea what they were doing. It's almost like that scopolamine, the devil's breath drug from Colombia that if you blow it in somebody's, did you see the documentary on Vice? There's a drug, and Rob, you could look it up, Pat. It's called the devil's breath, scopolamine.
Oof.
You take this white little powder, you just blow it in somebody's face or put it in their drink. Their free will is gone, meaning you do whatever they want you to do, and the next day you don't remember everything. One girl on the Vice documentary, she goes, somebody put something in my drink. I brought them into my apartment. My door guy was like, who are these people? She's like, don't worry about it. We're totally fine. Stole everything out of her apartment, her knowingly, like she was awake but didn't realize it. And the next day she had no recollection. If the government was doing this in the 70s for all this time, you don't think they've perfected it this time? I think something at that level with Thomas Crooks, Pat, the same people, the deep state that were behind destroying Trump with money, lawfare, impeachment, those are the same people that I believe could be behind radicalizing somebody like that to go on a roof. And then on top of it, the Secret Service head, Kim Cheadle, is like, yeah, no, everything failed, but God got in the way and saved Trump's life, Pat. I think it's crazy that Tucker, of all people, more than the FBI, did more research and discovered more than a three-letter agency can.
Yeah, and Tom, I know this is something you wanted to talk about, so I know you have some thoughts on this here. Where are you at with this?
So here's where I'm at. So go back really, really quickly to the London subway bombing. Mm-hmm. They found out which clerics had been socializing with which young men, and they said these radical clerics, do you remember this, Adam? These radical clerics in north of London had gotten these into the minds of these kids to go perpetrate what is now known as the London subway bombings. The amount of information that was available on the clerics, what mosque they were at, when they came to the country, where they were from, who they associated with. It was massive. And this goes back 15 years, 20 years now, to the point where, the 24-hour news cycle was even shorter back then. And so now the fact that there's so little we know, and then you've got Cash saying he acted alone, we've conducted the info, and there haven't been any leaks. The odds of this stuff not leaking is low because there's so many people that are in the bureaus that don't like Trump. And so why isn't the stuff leaking? Why is it so simple? Why is it so cut and dry? And there's two options, Pat. Number one, it's exactly as Cash says. And I put the odds of that at like 10%. And number two, they are actively working with people and they're trying to get through it, but they're trying to work through corrupt agencies. And if they're trying to work through corrupt agencies, then they're going to say one thing in public and try to clean it up separately. But I don't get, and we've had conversations with people in the Trump administration. Pat has, I have, many of us in this room, and some very close-in people who have said they don't trust the agencies and they don't trust the stories we're hearing. So we know that there's been some level of investigation or trying to uncover all this behind the scenes. But it's just the fact that we know so little about this, and the roof was scrubbed, the apartment was scrubbed.
Speculate.
Those are the three things that I hate.
Speculate.
The deep state was involved trying to take out Trump.
I think so.
And because I just have three things that bother me.
But by the way, when you say, so who is the deep state?
The deep state,
at the time, who was the deep state?
Deep state at the time would have been NSA, FBI. Those are the keys in the U.S. And then, of course, you've got the agency.
Because remember, when people are saying, they say stuff about Cash, Cash wasn't at the time.
He wasn't in at the time.
Okay, so it's not like this is a Cash thing because he's not in. However, if the deep state knew, do they have enough time to get rid of evidence between then and Cash getting in, or no?
Oh, yes. They've got ways to do it. There was, as they say about the deep state, sometimes there's no evidence in the first place because as they do things, they're immediately, sanitizing and being very careful about how they do it. So there isn't like a memo to Congress asking for appropriations to assassinate Trump. And it's nothing like that's going to show up.
And I know it sounds wild, but if you really break it down, like the same people, the Russia collusion, all the Brennan, all those people, Pat, some of them that we don't even know that were just layered in there. It's not that hard to go, okay, where is he going to be? Butler. Okay, I think they have their assets that they're just like, okay, this is the day that we're going to Tell them to go and do it, and then we're going to scrub the apartment. We're going to spray everything down. Kim Cheadle, all you have to do is act like, the security failed, even though he was clearly on the roof. People were yelling, Pat. There's videos where people are like, he's up there. The guy's got a gun. And it's almost as if everybody was told, hey, look over there, look over there. And I think the deep state, like, for instance, Russia collusion. When I had an FBI agent that came to one of our events. He's been to multiple events. Awesome guy. He always came to me and had a one-on-one. He's like trying to prove his case. He's like, Vinny, it's not everybody in the FBI. And I go, dude, I understand that there's good FBI agents. There's good, there's good CIA. There's people that are actually trying. But I go, what about the rogue people that have huge influence and huge power? It doesn't take that much. If you just looked at the Russia collusion case, Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, Andy McCabe, James Comey, everybody behind the DNC, Hillary Clinton, all colluding to make up the story and sell it to the American people. They even got FISA warrants. So if they could do that at that
more
level,
information kept coming out. More information kept coming out. This is one where everything stops.
Yeah.
For me, it comes down to three things: the limited amount of information that's come out, the immediately sanitized apartment, and they wash the roof. I just look at a few things and say, man, that's all I need to be really skeptical for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's a lot of what happened with that is fishy. There's a lot of happened with Charlie Kirk that is fishy. All these questions should be asked. All these answers hopefully should be given. At the same time, the FBI, whether it's Secret Service, well, whoever it is, two things can't be true at once. Either it's a inside job and the deep state is involved, and this guy was sort of manufactured and put there on the roof and given a pass, or somehow your officials let this geeky, nerdy, 20-year-old, furry-loving kid bypass all elements of security, get on the roof, and when people are saying he's on the roof, do nothing? So which one is it?
well, which one do you believe?
Did you actually, the point is, what do you call it? Hellman's razor? What do you call it?
Hellman's
What's
razor?
the whole thing?
Hanlon's razor.
Hanlon's razor. Sometimes you can't, what's the definition of it? Never attribute
attribute to
malice,
malice
which
that
is
was
adequately explained by stupidity.
Yeah.
Or a mistake.
A lot of this is just people messing up. I thought you had it. I thought the roof. A lot of this does not add up. But
you can't-
but here's the challenge right here. Like, who do I trust more over Kash Patel, the acting director of the FBI, or Tucker Carlson just asking questions? Give me Kash Patel all day, every day. At the same time,
why do you say that? What has he
Because
done
Kash
to prove
Patel-
to get your loyalty and your no? But Adam, that's the same guy that said Epstein. Have you seen the release?
Everything to me
Yeah.
is a score. Okay, cool. All right, you did this, I did that. All right, your credibility score. Okay. For me, Tucker's credibility score is very low right now.
And why is that?
I just think I think he plays dumb. I think he's a gaslighter. I think he's the gaslighter in chief of America. I think he kind of pretends he's this sort of, I'm just asking questions. I don't know nothing about nothing. Yet at the same time, his father was the CIA. At the same time, he's the only person in human history to have a headline show on CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, as if he's not part of the establishment. To me, he doesn't have a lot of credibility.
Well, then I'll
He
say
has
that to
every
you.
right to ask questions. What has Kash done other than not appease your Epstein interests to lose trust with the and
what do you mean?
credibility with the American
not my-
people?
not my
To me,
Epstein-
he has a lot of trust and credibility.
But not my Epstein thing, Adam. Like Pat said, he wasn't in during that. But what I'm saying is, when you just hear Kash Patel or Adam, the organization, the FBI, the CIA, they have lied to us over and over and over again.
So we can
And
never believe them,
I
is
didn't,
what
no,
you're
I didn't say
saying,
never.
ever.
But Adam, you have to question. And
did I
guess
not
what?
start the whole
I
premise
understand.
that we should question
And
everything?
Tucker, hold on. How did Tucker, the guy that you think is this huge gaslighter, how did he get more information on Thomas Crooks than the FBI?
He didn't. He didn't get more information.
mean he didn't?
Here's,
He found out
here's
his
what the
social media
FBI said.
presence.
We've conducted 1,000 interviews, addressed over 2,000 public tips, analyzed data, seized by 16 digital devices, reviewed 500,000 digital files, collected, processed, synchronized hundreds of video footage, analyzed financial activity. Tucker did a half-hour segment, and you're giving a false equivalency of what the FBI did and what Tucker did, asking questions?
Adam, the FBI
to me, it's
said he had no
nonsensical.
social media presence at all. Tucker was showing 5 minutes of video of him dry firing guns, recording himself. How did Tucker find that, Adam? And by the way,
The FBI has said Thomas Crooks never has said that he had no online footprint ever. The FBI has never said Thomas Crooks had no online footprint ever. This is from the FBI.
That got fact checked by Grok.
Okay,
Adam,
what did it
fact-
say?
Right here.
What did it
Fact
say?
check.
That down at the bottom, FBI Deputy Director Paul Abate went on to describe a general absence of other information to date from social media regarding Thomas Crooks.
So
So what does that mean exactly?
That they
Basically-
didn't have a digital
he
footprint.
didn't have a digital footprint. And Adam, and I get your point,
So
bro.
this guy has some explaining to do.
Yeah, no, Adam. And
Paul Abate,
Adam, and I understand
who I've
that
never heard of,
the same FBI
has
that
some
you're
explaining
talking
to
about,
do.
the same FBI that you're talking about, told us to.
And by the way, when did he say that?
This was July 30th of 2024, so 17 days after the assassination.
Okay. So before they did the entire due diligence. So maybe he spoke too soon. He should retract that statement, or he should say, "At the current sequencing, we do not have much information." But a year plus later, they should probably retract that.
My point is
which they did.
The same FBI.
So
that went after,
I just want to understand one thing: are you saying that you trust Tucker's
trust any-
segment more than the FBI? More. Who do you trust more?
No,
the
what do you mean
FBI
by
and
trust?
Cash
No.
or Tucker?
I just think it's interesting what Tucker reported on. That's
I
a
do
lot
too.
of questions that they need to answer.
I do too. I advocate for Tucker
Because-
doing his thing.
look, Adam,
that doesn't mean I trust
We
what
want
he did.
we want to move on, but if there's Adam, all I'm saying is Adam, FBI, you trust Cash Patel just because he's in charge of the FBI.
I trust
I
him
would
more
never
than
trust
Tucker.
the FBI or the CIA because the people, Adam, whoever's on the top. Look at the layers of the people. Like what the
I'm
Russian
asking you a
collusion.
simple
I don't trust
question.
any of them. You can't trust them.
so
Sorry.
so everyone's at 0% trust.
Not 0%, but
So
they
who do you
lost
trust
credibility.
more, Tucker
Adam,
or Cash?
I don't trust equally the same. I don't trust anybody. But here's my
Well,
question
then
to you.
we're gonna differ
this
there.
is the
I
same
trust Cash
FBI
more.
that said they had tens of thousands of hours of Jeffrey Epstein with underage girls. What happened to it? It's gone. They lied. Move on.
Who's
Bye.
they?
Cash Patel and Jan Bongino, their whole thing for months before where I'm going to do this, I know this, I talked to this person, and the moment they got in at him, everything changed. That's all I'm saying. Everything changed. Everything. And
Where
the
you at
world
with
knows
this,
it.
PBD?
I think Cash has fumbled a couple times. I think Tucker obviously doesn't trust Cash.
Yeah.
And he's trying to expose maybe some of the information that hasn't been revealed. I think Cash has access to more information than Tucker does. There's no question about it there. But you also have to realize you don't think Tucker has people that are in the CIA or FBI or different places that are also probably giving him information over the years? Probably. Yeah. If your father was a CIA agent or he worked with the CIA, you don't think he shared some strategies with you over the years on what happened? I don't know. I think there's something there.
And some connections, Pat. Like,
I
so
think-
here's my friends. Save their phone numbers.
But I also don't. You think Cash is turned against Trump?
No.
You think
No.
Cash is
No.
concealing information from Trump? You think
No,
Cash
no.
was involved? No,
No,
you're not
at
saying
all.
that.
No.
But it's good that Tucker's doing that we're showing it because those are the things he searched. I would want to know that. 6 months ago, if you guys remember, 5 months ago, I said this, I think, on Jesse Waters when I said it's the biggest fumble on whenever.
I remember that.
Whatever the day was when I said the biggest fumble. I don't know when that was. I said, I still don't know what happened with Thomas Crooks.
Yeah.
If you remember that.
It
I'm
was
like,
Jesse.
why don't you tell us what I mean, we're trying to find out what happened here, but we don't even know what happened with Crooks. Can't you tell us what happened with Crooks? I don't know the date on that, but that was probably 5-6
Is that it
months
right
ago.
there?
No, that was right
Okay,
before
gotcha.
this was Epstein.
Well, don't you think Trump, more than anybody, would like to find out
4 months
what
ago,
happened
yeah.
with the guy that shot me in
And
the
it
ear?
doesn't look like he was. He was like, he kind of,
But-
he was
but
the main
let me
one.
But then
tell
you're
you though,
assuming that
but-
Trump doesn't care who shot him in the
No,
face?
But
I'll show you an interview where he
Are
doesn't
you
kidding
sound like
me?
it.
No, but let me tell you what I would go with that, Vinny. If let's just say Trump acts like he's not interested on who killed him, right? Okay, so speculate that. What do you think that is?
I don't know, because his mission is more forward on the country.
You
and
think,
or
you
maybe
think
he's
Trump,
deceptive.
You think Trump doesn't want to get even with people that screwed him over?
1,000%.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
so,
no,
Okay.
no, but
So-
hold
so
on.
there you
hold
go.
on. I'll have him
May
show
I?
you. Yeah,
Sure,
let
sure.
him.
Okay. So do you not think Trump, knows? But for example, the other day we had a guy that was here that came with a bunch of guns.
Yeah.
Have you heard me talk about it on the podcast?
Nope.
No, I just did right now. Okay. But what I'm trying to say is,
Now
but do
we
you know,
did.
do you know why though? Like a point of it is like, you kind of just want to move on.
Yeah.
And then you do what you got to do, but you don't want to be publicly so.
Yeah.
But you can't automatically assume that there's not things that are being behind closed doors.
I agree.
But to me, I don't know. I think Trump maybe learned something, knew something, is working on something, acting like he's not interested. You either like the guy's approach or you don't.
Mm-hmm.
You can't say you like his approach on these 7 things, but not like it on these 4 different things. If he negotiates in a certain way, he's probably applying some of the same principles here as well. Yeah. So you can't pick and choose and say you don't like the approach. You can disagree with, like, for example, he called Thomas Massey a loser for, he says his wife's going to find that he's a total loser, right?
The new
Here
wife.
soon.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you say that if you're in office?
No.
Would Tom say that?
No.
Would Adam say that?
Maybe.
but the point is this. Guess what? You may say you don't like the way he talks like that. How long has he been talking like that?
Forever.
Since he was 6 years old, he's probably talking like that, right?
Certainly since he came down the escalator.
But the approach on how he's going about things methodically, you can't assume he's like, Trump doesn't know nothing. I think there's something going on there. I'd like to make an announcement. Folks, we're doing something crazy. And let me tell you what this crazy thing is. You know what this is? This is what you call a mystery box, okay? 200 of you are going to get this mystery box. And I'm going to tell you who this mystery box is going to go to, what items in it that are very, very unique. If you're watching this right now and you want to have a Merry Christmas and get some people some special gifts and have the possibility of coming on here to be on the podcast, sit here with us, do a prep and all the other crazy stuff. Rob, just play this clip, Rob. I'm getting ahead of myself. Go ahead, Rob. Watch this clip, folks. Announce the greatest Black Friday initiative ever. This right here is a mystery box. It's a mystery, but there's something very special inside of it. So how do you get the mystery box? The first 200 people that place a $500 order on VTmerch.com, the first 200 get this box. 10 of them have something very special in them. But when you open it up and you see this, 10 of them are going to be golden tickets. You're going to take your quarter and you're going to scratch this thing off. 10 of you are going to get different prices. Let me tell you what it's going to be. One of them is going to be $5,000 gift card to the VT merch. Come buy whatever you want to buy, the shoes, the jackets, whatever you want to buy. The other one is 5 platinum tickets to the Vault 2026. That's right. Platinum. Another one is the 20-karat hat that we did. That's numbered 1 out of 15. One of you is going to get that $5,000 Future Looks Bright hat. Another one is a 1-year silver membership to the Cigar Lounge. Another one is a 15-minute call with me or with Vinny or with Tom or with Adam. Then a $2,500 credit to Minect. And last but not least, you will be in one of Vinny's skits on Valuetainment Comedy.
It's a big deal.
Hilarious.
It's a real big deal.
You're in it with them as an actor or an actress. You place an order over $1,000. You're probably going to get a surprise FaceTime from me, Vinny, Adam, Tom, maybe all of us together. Not everybody, but probably 40, 50 of you will get a call. Last but not least, this one is going to break the internet. You ready? For anybody that places an order of over $2,000. I know the number's crazy, but you see why it's crazy. One of you who wins, we will fly you out, put you at a hotel, take you to Casa D'Angelo, do a podcast prep with you. Then the next day, you're sitting right here next to me on the podcast. That's crazy. The entire podcast. You're here with us. That's great. And we
Crazy.
want you sitting right here. So if you haven't yet placed an order on VTmerch.com, go place the order. To learn more about the rules and the terms and conditions, click on a link below to learn all and start purchasing now. You know what the good news is? 30% discount on pretty much every product. So go to VTmerch.com, place your order, be one of the first 200, or if you're crazy enough, place an order over $2,000. We'll see you on the podcast. This is crazy, brother. We've never done anything
Hopefully
like
that
this.
guy that gets to sit here is not a furry. Let's just hope. Let's just
But Rob,
hope.
can you do me a favor? Can you go on the website real quick? Can you go on the website? Go to VTmerch.com, and I want to just kind of show this to you guys as you're going through it. So if you go click on Valuetainment just to refresh the website, Rob. Okay, perfect. If you click on that Learn More right there, and you go to it, all the details are down. Go a little bit lower. It'll break down everything for you. And keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. All the details are right there, Rob. Go up a little bit higher, Rob, and click on that View All to the right. So that's what you want to do. Go on View All, and here's where it is. The shoes, the one thing we did with Bundle, the Vault Conference, the SLS, the public speaking course, the PBD sales system, the business planning workshop, all the recording bundle, $997, right? Of course, these are from previous. We never do that. But you got a bundle there for $997, and then you got the shoes. That's the only thing that won't be discounted aside from a couple items. and he can go down and place your order. Christmas gift for your husband, for yourself, for your kids, for your spouse, for anybody else that watches this. Future looks bright. Yesterday, I went to the sushi spot. I'm ordering sushi. He says, I ordered the 3 Yeti Future Looks Bright items that were on, which was great seeing the guy at the Kaizen. But anyways, again, if you want to participate, 200 mystery boxes, first 200, go to vtmerch.com, place your order. This is part of the Black Friday. We're just doing it way earlier than everybody else to give you a heads up while we're going through this. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.